All right, everybody, we're playing some Crossfire Legion, and I am about to try out playing as the Blacklist, the kind of upstart rebels, terrorists is what, of course, the global risk kind of, government faction would call them. But it's a new RTS game, and it is loadout based, so I've picked a really funky loadout here. So we're picking as the commander. Free Fall's the default, has an acid rain ability. Ooh, which commander? Maybe I'll change it, actually. I think we will pick Stalker. So Stalker has a Shadow Operative ability, which is basically, these are your top-down commander abilities that just does massive damage in an area, just kind of pulls this guy down and does crazy damage. And we can also deploy a base that produces mercenaries. Now, that's a finite resource, your commander energy, so you've got to be very sparing with when you use those. We've also got the Jackal, which is a scout infantry we've picked here, so you can see you can pick the different dudes. Wait. Do we want the Jackal? Which one of these is more basic? Ooh. Highly adaptive, camouflage. Yeah, I think the Jackal looks cooler. Girl with pistols. Basically can run around just attacking ground. Ideal for hit and run tactics, and we can upgrade them to increase their move speed. We've gone for fire ants next, which is basically just a big old flamethrower in the next infantry slot. Then in our first vehicle slot, we've got the centipede, which is a unit that goes around zapping people and reduces the movement speed of enemies hit with their electrical attacks. And then we can also upgrade it to do like a burst that basically heals and boosts the rate of fire of nearby allies. So that's going to be really cool. So it kind of stores up energy. After that, we've got the Silverfish, which is basically a truck that just shoots explosive drones, almost like a carrier from StarCraft. That is kind of just a sick long-ranged unit to do some damage. Then we go into the air units, our first air unit. We've got the Dragonfly, which is a hit-and-run bomber that's meant to run in and just try and do their damage. Can gun down buildings really well with their upgrade. So I want to see if I can snipe some production and tech by running by with them. And I want to do some harassment with the Jackals in the early game. I don't know how much this will work. I might just die, but I haven't played much with this faction. Next, we've got the Wasp, apparently. Right, that's what we've picked. Yeah, air superiority helicopter that weakens enemy defenses with thermite rounds. So they take more damage after they're hit. And we can upgrade it with a stealth field as well, which is cool. Last but not least, we've gone for the Condor, which is basically also kind of like a carrier, but a flying one. Launches explosive drones from really far away. I don't know if this is a very well-balanced composition. I don't know enough about the game to know for sure, but we're going to get straight into the game and see how it plays out. The reason I wanted to start this by going over the loadout is I feel like you should already have an idea of your strategy generally just from what units you pick. You're like, oh, okay. It gives you an idea of forcing yourself to have a somewhat balanced composition. And I'm sure it's huge when it comes to competitive play. As a noob, obviously, I don't know what's amazing, what's good, what's bad. You know, people can say, oh, high-level StarCraft player, you should know. It's like, no, you got to play a lot of RTS to really understand what's going on. So, to start off, guys, let's talk you through the basics of how the game works. You've got your materials over here, kind of like minerals in StarCraft, your fuel over there, your secondary, more tech-focused resource. Materials, fuel, and supply, all in the top right of the screen as well. And, oh, this is a pretty big map. I didn't realize we were playing such a big map. I hosted it. That's absolutely on me that did that, but that's cool. We're playing as my buddy Squiggle Biscuit, who I believe is playing the kind of, I call them the Protoss faction. They kind of look a little Protoss-y. There's, New Horizon, which is a bunch of corporations that have way better tech. So I'm playing the upstart. You can see all of my stuff kind of looks like junkery almost, right? It's yeah, we don't have the fanciest gear, but that's a-okay. All right, so we're supply capped at 10 out of 10, but I'm gonna go for a very quick expand build anyway. So we're gonna go straight for this second base. Come on. I'm really curious to see how these flamethrowers work as well. All right, so with every building you build in this game, you're going to notice it just calls in. You don't need to sit there and build it with your worker. So macro in general is really low maintenance. It's not hard to keep spending your money. I'm going to call in a depot now. In this case, it's called a supply cache for this team. And as soon as that's finished, we're going to start pumping workers out. It only takes 7 seconds to build a worker for 75 materials. Super cheap. The base, on the other hand, 60 seconds. Takes literally forever. All right, so that depot's finished. So we're going to start building these workers and rallying those into fuel. And we're also going to get a barracks. So there we go. First barracks going to get called down. totally okay to just pull a worker off the resources to do that. And our natural's almost finished. Our natural expansion, our second base for those who aren't StarCraft players, might make a bit more sense. Try not to use too much jargon in this video. Now, the problem is, guys, my opponent has really figured out a composition that he knows how to use well. I kicked his ass the first few games, and now he has super figured out how to kick my butt the last few games. So this is going to be tough. That's what I'm getting at. This is going to be pretty tough. I think he's got me number at the moment, so definitely something to keep in mind. We're double producing workers, and you can see the materials on the second base is already almost saturated. Jackals are quite expensive. Let me just build one of them and check its stats really quickly before we get charge. Which is a passive movement speed buff. Alright, a few more guys. Let's make sure we build a depot before we get supply blocks. Because fighting units start using a lot more. Workers might only use one supply. Jackal's already going to use 2. And 14 DPS. Oh wow, that's actually sick. That's pretty good. 16 weapon range, not bad. And yeah, pretty mobile as well. Okay. So I'll get out a little pack of jackals and I'll try to do a run by with them. I'll see if I can go run around the map. Let's just send one across the map for now. Alright, we're going to go for the level 2 tier base here as well. Alright, so we're getting level 2. So that's going to get us up to the ability to build factory units as well. Alright, let's get the workshop, which is basically your engineering bay, gets you your upgrades. And put another supply cache, because why not? I also think we should probably be building another barracks. Just having one barracks is, I think, very dangerous. Alright, so we're continuing across the map right now. Let's build one more jackal, or even 2 more. Maybe just 1 more, and then we'll get the charge. Okay, I'm just building 1 or 2 more workers. Actually, we don't need that. Oh no, I cancelled my tier base upgrade when it was about to finish. Oh, that's really bad. Okay, so it looks like he didn't spawn in the bottom. Ooh, otherwise he would have already had that base. Okay, let's keep building jackals for now and get an infantry upgrade, shall we? Infantry upgrade. Sorry, where's my workshop? There we go. So that's going to give them bonus weapons and armor. Oh, yes. All right, let's try and kill this. And let's remember, we've got Shadow Operative is only 25. Oh, that's awesome. And Guns for Hire is the second commander ability. All right, very nice. Oh, these guys are so fast now that their upgrade kicked in. Oh, that's sick. I think he's probably bottom right. Oh, the DPS is really good. And they're quite move and shooty as well. Oh, this is my first time using jackals. They're great. Oh, what's he got? What's he got? What are these guys? Minotaurs? All right, let's go. Get him. All right, we're going to use Shadow Operative as well. There we go. Doing some good attacks. Oh, very nice. And you can't run from me. My guys are way too fast. Oh, the jackals are sick. Oh, I don't know if this is the best though now. Okay, quick. Let's get factories now. As well as a base. I'm not really macroing right now, so... Alright, let's go. These are Protoss units, so his ones are very strong units, okay? So let's pull back a little bit now. We've got to pull back. I say Protoss. They're not actually Protoss, of course, but just in terms of the theme of his faction is that they are very, very strong. Oh. Okay, here we go. Come on, factories, hurry up. These mech facilities, I think they take longer for this faction than the other factions. I'm not sure. Either that or because my adrenaline's pumping and I want to win this game so badly. All right, let's build some centipedes. So these guys are the little electric guys that will slow my opponent's movement. And we're getting more jackals as well. We're gonna get a level 2 infantry upgrade since I'm still on mostly mass jackals right now. And I think we'll try and attack with a bunch of these centipedes and a big pack of jackals again. Just keep trying to fight my opponent. At the same time, we are trying to secure another base over here in the middle, and this is a double base. So it's actually 2 bases in one. Now, I haven't used these centipedes before. Their DPS sucks. But I think it's a chain attack, and when they store up energy, we can heal our guys. So I'm hoping it's good. All right, we're gonna get the paralyzing shock upgrade. And yeah, let's keep going. All right, let's go for another attack down here. And I'm gonna try and pump some workers behind it, see if we can get into a nice little position. We're gonna try and call in the Shadow Operative again. Really quick response from my opponent. That's like insanely quick. Whoa, 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 we called in this bullshit. Oh my god. So that's something, I'm not used to seeing that yet. I don't know if that did friendly fire or not, guys. But I'm still really bad at the visual cues for seeing when these abilities are coming down. Oh man, that hurt, dude. All right, I'm gonna queue up a bunch more workers to saturate this other base. And we are gonna try and get level 2 vehicles, because then we can get the silverfish, which is the long range boy. Also, +2 infantry weapons is still only upgrading. So I'm gonna keep upgrading these guys for now. I do feel the jackals aren't bad, but we'll see what happens as this game goes on. All right, I think what I'm gonna do now, we're gonna take the jackals, we're gonna run those around the backside and do a backstab with that squad of jackals. So they're on number 3, and we're gonna keep on making more jackals, and I think the 4 centipedes is probably enough, but just keep pumping the jackals. And we'll get both of these to level 2 so that we can get what we need. Let's make sure we don't get supply blocked. So more depots. Each one of those, I think, is 15 supply. Okay, these guys are going to push the front, but only once these guys run in. All right, going to saturate that fuel as well. Let's get the silverfish coming in. Oh, get in there. Go for the workers. Okay. I'm going to use the Shadow Operative one more time. Oh, he used solar flare. Use solar flare. Run, 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 run. Oh, run, 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 run. Oh, come on, man. That solar flare is ridiculous. That ability. Ah, run, run, run. Okay, these guys are going to run away. All right, get in there, get in there. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to try and get some vehicle upgrades. We've got a bunch of silverfish on the way and a lot of jackals. I'm also going to go more barracks just so I can remax on jackals really fast when I need to. Alright, these guys are going to go back in for the backstab. And that's cool because we're able to gun down this base, move to the right side. So we're able to damage our opponent's income. Even though I think the standing army is a little bit better for my opponent. Now, the problem is I've only got one last Shadow Operative left in this game. After that, we are on our own. We're not going to have any more top-down abilities. All right, we've got 3 more barracks on the way now. Oh, I'll go for the workers first, because I don't think we can kill this base before he responds. Oh, he's building turrets. Let's try and kill these. Oh, okay, we're going for that one. Very nice. So we've got lots of the jackals, got a few of these guys, these electric cars, and these silverfish are awesome. I don't know where his army's at. These guys are going to run away. They're going to keep distracting. This is just my backstab squad right now. And then it looks like we're going to be able to kill this base. For some reason, he's not responding. He's distracted, I think. Maybe I can run in with these guys, do some damage as well. Oh man, the jackals are so fast. It's actually wild. So whenever they find just a few units on their own... Oh man, jackals might be broken. Jackals might actually be broken. They're so fast. They're so much fun. I know they're not that good in like just a big front-on fight. But still. So the silverfish are these rocket trucks. Like I said, they're kind of like carriers or something like that. All right, bring these guys down. And then we've got... All right, we're going to bring everyone together now at the front. I think we're going to be able to win with this army right now. All right, yeah, let's go for it. Okay, we're going to go down, jump on top of those guys. I don't know if he's got some really high tech or flyers coming out, which I don't really have an answer for. So we've got to push in right now to make sure we can try to win. Okay. Let's go. So this is the main base. We're right on top of the production here. I've used up all my abilities, but I think he's used up all of his commander abilities as well. Ooh, okay, I better get some tier 3 airbase, because I can't actually build hangars right now. And let's get level 2 vehicle upgrades. We've also got ambush and Ghost Nation. Stealth or units for a duration. I don't know if I have anything that shoots up. Looks like something's shooting his guys. Oh, right. Okay, so these guys can shoot up. My little buggies that suck. Everything else doesn't shoot up. It's okay. I have enough of them that it doesn't matter. I could just kill everything. It's just kind of hilarious. All right, we're going to kill the main base. The other base is about to go down. I think when you lose your last base here, it should be victory when that goes down in 1 second. All right, we got it. Woo! All right, that was fun. That was my first game since the early access months ago when it first went into early access, playing as me good old Global Risk faction, or Blacklist, sorry. And we managed to get a win after Busty Biscuit here has been beating me for the last 2 or 3 games in a row. That was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. I gotta say, those jackals actually have pretty good damage for their mobility. I think their hit points probably aren't as high, but if you just run around with those, man, that seems like a very fun unit to screw around with. That's awesome.
Well, that was a pretty damn fun game. I love that new point in an RTS where you don't really know the details of everything you're doing, and you make mistakes like forgetting to build units that shoot up, but you win anyway because you were already far enough ahead. This is the true happy time to be in an RTS when no one really knows what they're doing. It's the perfect time to play because it is naturally a lot less hardcore. Before we finish up the video, let's take a very quick look through of the factions. So I was playing Blacklist there. You can go into your army tab and actually set defaults here, default preset loadouts, so you don't have to constantly customize it every game. So you can kind of have some set compositions you like to go for, and you can just select the unit types that you prefer to use. I've been toying with a few different ones. My first impression of Blacklist, like I said, these guys are kind of the rebels. High damage, high mobility, but quite fragile. They do also have a lot of AoE abilities that can be spammed out as well. But I'm a massive noob, so these are only first impressions. I'm sure more experienced players who watch this video will actually kind of laugh at my first impressions because some of the units I haven't tried out yet. You've got New Horizon, your kind of Protoss-style faction, of course. That's who we were playing against. Lots of high-tech units, very expensive. Their depots actually heal their units' shields, like Moonwells or a shield battery. Something which I didn't realize, and a couple of my rushes failed absolutely terrible against Biscuit before that game that you guys just watched. So there's details to RTSs which takes a little bit to pick up, but lots of cool units there. I think their coolest thing is, of course, their ultimate vehicle slot is basically just a bunch of Omega mechs. I had a Behemoth rock up in my base in one of these games. It has a mass teleport ability where I was already dead, but Biscuit teleported this whole army onto my army's face as the finishing blow. And I felt like I was getting dunked on, like I was getting teabagged. It was rough. But that was pretty cool. I immediately wasn't even annoyed. I was literally shouting at the screen like, okay, that's impressive. That's cool. I want one of those. And of course, Global Risk, which is your normie faction, your government kind of just oppressors. They're not bad at all. What I find is interesting about them, I've been toying with a few different strategies. I find they have the most tanky units in the game. The Phalanx tank, for instance, is just this crazy tank. It can hull down, so it becomes stationary, and it takes even less damage when it's already the tankiest unit in the game. And I've really been enjoying pairing that up with the Jester, which is a healing tank. So the Jester basically repairs units constantly. It doesn't have an attack, but it also has an upgraded ability where you can use that, and it's like, bam, and it just does a crazy amount of heal very, very quickly. So if you can get in a situation where you've got Phalanx tanks tanking for you, Jester's healing, it's a really sick combo. But I've been struggling to figure out the right supporting damage units to actually make this work out. Kind of depends on the situation a little bit. All right, now let's go over the game modes a little bit. If you go into the play tab, you're going to see there's a campaign, 3 acts that flesh out the story of each race. Or each faction. I'm up to Act 2. And apparently the final act is filled with much heavier combat missions. The first acts, a lot of them are like just controlling a few units, getting used to using your top-down abilities. But they are actually reasonably difficult, especially if you put it on hard. Most of the people from my Twitch chat who tried the game said they all lost the second mission multiple times, even on the medium difficulty, until I pointed out, hey guys, remember to use your top-down powers and stuff like that, and people started to figure it out. So if you put this on hard, do expect to replay a few of the missions quite a bit, and I'm hoping the final act steps that difficulty up even more, because I just love when a campaign has nice difficulty on it. You've also got auto match. So auto match, your ladder function, 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3 you can select there. And that works as you would expect for any competitive ladder. Pretty straight up, just eliminate the opponent. But there's a whole bunch of other modes as well. So if you go into custom game, you're going to see there's that standard mode, but then there's also a payload mode where crates drop down to give you power ups so you can fight over those. And then there's also trucks that you can get from these crates, and you escort them to a destination. Each time you get it there, it's a goal. If you get 3 goals, you win the game. So it's a nice alternative objective-focused version. And you can play that with up to 3v3 as well. 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. I played a little bit of that in the early access, and that was actually really fun. Co-op is actually something they've really pushed as well. So the co-op missions are recommended for 3 players, but because there's 4 difficulty settings, you can just tone the difficulty down depending on if you're playing with just 1 or 2 players. Operation Thunderstrike is the one I played and got my butt kicked. Me and a buddy played that in early access. You're basically in a base defending waves of enemy and trying to go out to pick up some power-ups as well. It's actually a really fun one. Real simple, just hold out and survive mission. I mean, that's a classic RTS one that we all know and love. There's also Operation Northside. I actually only just realized there was a second co-op map as I'm recording this, so I'm keen to try that. Apparently it says global risk hardliners have occupied the city. They surround the embassy, break their siege, and get the ambassadors out of there. So you've actually got to break in and get the ambassadors out. I don't know if there's any macro or you just have preset units, but I'm keen to try that out. Now, these last 2 modes are really cute. Battle Lines is basically like Nexus Wars or Desert Strike in StarCraft. Essentially, this is like you get a lane, you place down your different units, so you pick the army type that you want, and they auto-battle. So it's an auto-battler mode. It's all about the units you pick, how you place them, and how you counter your opponent's composition. And the Brawl mode is the opposite of that. For the players who don't want to micro, they play Battle Lines. For the players who only want to micro, they play Brawl. Units spawn automatically, and you just get to control them and have fun battling. So some cool alternate modes in there as well. Basically let you play the game however the hell you want. All right, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I actually have had a lot of fun playing this. I look forward to playing some more of the campaign over the next few days. Maybe smashing Biscuit in a few more custom games. We'll see how we go. If you guys want to check out a new RTS, support me. There's some links. It is available on Steam right now. So there's a nice little link down below in the comments and in the description. All right, so thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate the love. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.